What's up, guys? It's DJ. Welcome to Gamma Bro Hulk Reviews. Now for your Gamma Dose of the Jade Giant. Today's featured Hulk item is from the company Toy Biz. This is their Masterworks series by Marvel Legends, inspired by Marvel Feature Presents Issue 11, The Thing and the Incredible Hulk, ripped right from the cover, and the review is coming up next. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Toy Biz is definitely one of my favorite companies. I try to collect everything Incredible Hulk made by them. I like them better than Hasbro for the most part. I think they were way more creative and really took the time to make really fun, interesting Incredible Hulk products and just Marvel products in general. And this particular line is the Masterworks line. Masterworks is pretty interesting because it didn't last long. They really wanted to focus on a lot of the popular rivalries with Marvel characters in comics, and they based a few statues off a few of these famous covers. And this one just so happens to be Hulk and the Thing. Now, Hulk and Thing are friends, rivals, and have always had this really fun, bantering, combative relationship. They're usually very sarcastic with one another. Thing always has a little chip on his shoulder, pun intended, because, Hulk is Hulk and Hulk is super strong. And Thing always wants to kind of gain the Hulk's respect and try to make it out to be like he's on the same equal playing field as Hulk. And for the longest time, they were. They were both powerful characters, similar move sets, and they both ran into each other plenty of times where Hulk had to go toe-to-toe with Thing. Thing with Hulk that makes him different and separates him from a lot of these characters is he always ends up going against full teams. So a full team of X-Men, full team of Avengers, a full villain team, full Fantastic Four. And then he, will square up with individual characters within those teams. But for the most part, it's always full teams going at Hulk. And that's one thing that, how many other characters in Marvel can you think of hero-wise that goes up against full teams? There are not that many, if any at all. It's basically Hulk. So it's not really fair to always have Hulk take one little segment of an entire fight of full teams where a character might get Hulk caught off guard and punch him and get a good hit on him or knock him out or whatever from the 60s and 70s and 80s. And because of that, they'll be like, oh, this person's just as strong as Hulk. But, they remove the 85% of the fight where Hulk is taking on everybody. And even though Hulk is taking on everybody, for the most part, he usually ends up winning or stalemating the entire team. So it's just funny to me that a lot of people always disregard that side of things. Even though Hulk today, for sure, is stronger than Thing. Stepped up toe-to-toe with Hulk now. I think Hulk quite easily will put Thing down. But Thing does go through certain transformations. He will scale pretty inconsistently over the years. Even though, in my opinion, I don't think Thing's quite on Hulk's level. I think there are plenty times where their fights were very fun and they were equal for sure in certain points. In this particular cover, I think this is at a time where Hulk was a little bit stronger than Thing, but still an incredible rivalry, very good comic cover, and Toy Biz did an excellent job at replicating it. So I'll show you what this really cool statue looks like right now. So Toy Biz kills it with their boxes, especially around this era. I think they took note with parts like this, because if you take a look at the font for figures like this, it's around the same era. So you have this Marvel Legends logo, obviously the same as this. And with these are one of my favorite boxes. I really like these boxes. I did a review on this in the past. And what's nice about this is they really focus on the comic issues. They integrate the comics. And in my review, I always talked about how there's a window at the top there that lets the light in. So when you keep these figures in the box, you can see a lot of light coming through. And with today's review, look at this giant window. I think this window on top of this box is amazing. I think it's really good quality. And it lets tons of light in because there is no reason to open something like this when you get such a good view and you have this badass comic that comes with it behind it. I think that just looks absolutely amazing. So with the box, same font as the Icon series. Then we have famous covers come to life. Again, the Marvel Legends logo. Here's the issue of Thing vs. Hulk. Great cover, really good detail. Marvel feature, we have Thing right there and Hulk. We have sarcastic Thing with one of his snarky comments. And look who's coming to dinner. The issue is Cry Monster. Really, really cool cover. So here is another Masterworks. So basically it's everyone versus Galactus, Fantastic Four, 243. So we have Cap and Thor, Wasp, Doctor Strange, Mr. Fantastic, Human Torch, Iron Man, Thing, just all taking on Galactus. Like, what a cool piece that is. Absolutely love it. A Marvel Super Spectacular, green-skinned and gamma-powered. It's the incredible, unstoppable Hulk versus the ever-loving blue-eyed Thing. Marvel's two classic titans collide in an all-out smash-and-bash battle of the century. When scientist Bruce Banner gets angry, his human form gives way to become the impossibly powerful, devastating, destructive Hulk. Transformed into the Thing by cosmic radiation, Benjamin Grimm is the only hero with the power to stand in his way. With an impenetrable orange rocky hide and super strength, this wayward member of the Fantastic Four will pit his awesome might against the Hulk in this legendary, pulse-pounding fight to the finish, where only one can triumph. So again, it comes with the comic in the background, which is awesome. 20 cents. I wish comics were that cheap today. Now on to this really cool statue. So down here, we have the rock base. For sculpt, excellent sculpt on the rock. They did a really good job at showing all the different sharp edges, impact of Thing pushing off the rock and Hulk stepping. Then we have two parts of snow here. We have a little bit of the solid painted white snow that's on the rock. That's part of the sculpt. And then we have a nice clear resin snow on top here underneath Hulk's foot. So I like the transition and different types of snow for the base. We'll just jump right into paint. Excellent, excellent texture work. I love all the browns and the whites and grays running through. Really good texturing for the rock itself. We'll jump into the figures. So really cool pose. Classic Hulk and Thing doing the standing off, seeing who's stronger. Looks like Thing is just trying to quell Hulk's rage, and Hulk is ready to punch him in the face, most definitely. We'll start with Thing. All the sculpt work on his rock hide looks amazing. His nice blue trousers. Awesome back, super wide. Love the detail and the black wash throughout the rocks. We have bright oranges and dark oranges really mixed in there. Just excellent sculpt work in general. Really nice face. They got the blue eyes. Great detail on the teeth, especially for the paint. I love how Thing is a little bit shorter than Hulk. I know that he's stretched out a lot more, but I do feel Hulk is definitely taller than Thing and a little bit bigger, so this measures up perfectly in my opinion with them. Now on to Hulk. Look at that paint and texture work on the legs. His classic purple pants. Great back, looks amazing. Love all the muscle definition throughout. Very nice sculpted back. Great sculpt on the triceps and forearms. Love the sculpt and paint job on this. I think it's really nice. Huge traps. You can see a lot of the veins running through his neck. Really nice ab work on the chest. Tons of light green wash on the chest. Hulk's eyes look great. Sculpt. Very, very nice. This is definitely classic Toy Biz influence with the huge jawline, protruding jaw, and definitely the protruding eyebrows. This definitely has Toy Biz's particular art style implemented into the statue. I think it transitioned really nicely with Thing. I think it looks good. If you take a look at the Hulk cover, you can definitely see Hulk's face is different and Thing's is a little different. And even the pose is a little different because Thing is kind of holding on to both Hulk's hand and forearm here. And on the statue, it's more bicep and forearm. So that is kind of similar there. Just different angle and definitely Toy Biz's own personal sculpting on the faces. But just really, really cool sculpt overall. And just having Hulk vs. Thing is definitely awesome. You know, this is just a dream of mine. I know it'll never happen, but I love when big, broody, physical characters always go out and, you know, take on each other. And I would love a Hulk versus Juggernaut, Hulk versus Gladiator, Hulk versus Sentry, Hulk versus Thor statues, kind of showing them going toe-to-toe. I think that would be awesome. But I am very, very fortunate that Toy Biz at least gave us a Hulk versus Thing, because this is definitely one of the classic matchups for Hulk. But for sculpt, you can either love it or hate it with Hulk's face. I particularly like the more monster-esque Hulk and the earlier styles of Hulk, so Toy Biz's interpretation doesn't bother me at all. But as for the body sculpt and the sculpting on the base and just overall paint combination, I think this probably gets an A- for sculpt and probably an A for paint. I think the paint, especially for 2006, this is amazing. Very, very, very nice. Now quality, the box is super, super thick material. The plastic is super, super thick material. Isn't it cool when I get super close? The plastic is so like well done that it doesn't even look like it's there when you get up close. I think that is just amazing that how much light gets through this box. Now as for the statue, it's really, really good quality. This looks like a PVC material to me. PVC today is very expensive. It's nice that Toy Biz gave us a good quality PVC statue for being 19 years old. So now we get some measurements. So the box is 10.5 inches tall and 5 inches wide. The statue itself is about 5 inches tall. So does this have a wow factor? I think just with this big wide open box, with the good quality, the comic in the background, I highly recommend keeping this in the box. It just gives a very, very nice, solid presentation for packaging and overall appearance. These being only 5 inches tall, this is on the smaller side for a statue. I think these are basically the size of the Toy Biz figures, but out of the package, I'd probably give these about a B+ for wow factor, but in the package, I think this is amazing and I'll give it an A. I just think it definitely just kicks ass overall for presentation and wow factor. I really, really miss Toy Biz. I wish we can get them back and have these wonderful items and just the care and presentation that they put into Marvel characters back in the early 2000s. Again, this came out in 2006. Overall, I'll give this an A- to an A. I think it nailed every single category really, really well. And what more could you want? A really, really fun, friendly rivalry between the Hulk and Thing. And the fact that it comes with a nice comic, fantastic displayability. It's just a home run for Toy Biz in general. And I wish they came out with more. I think it's a very, very fun, cool series. Now, as for price, I don't remember how much it was back in the day. I want to say like $25, $30 if I had to take a guess back in 2006. But for a PVC, statue for that time, that's pretty cheap. And today, you're probably looking at $100, $150. Some people just have this priced all over the place, so you might be able to find it cheaper. I just randomly looked up a few examples. It was going over $100 overall. That's up to you if you want to pay something like that. I wouldn't pay that much for this type of thing. I think a sweet spot of today's value and quality, I'd probably put it around like $50, $60 plus shipping. I think that's reasonable. 75 would be the highest I'd probably go. And you could probably find even cheaper deals than that. Highly recommend it. Such a cool piece. And what more could you want, Hulk vs. Thing? So please, Hulk, smash the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. So please have a wonderful day. And I'll see you when I see you. Peace.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.